Hi everyone, now we will be beginning with another chapter, that is cell. Right? What is a cell? A cell is what every living organism is composed of. Alright, it is the basic unit of life. Cells combine to form tissues, tissues to form organs, to living bodies. Alright, everything that is living is made out of cells, very small tiny units that combine to form life on this earth. So let's start. What is a cell? You can see over here, this is an example of a cell. Cells are the fundamental units of life. What do I mean by fundamentals? These are the primary, most basic, necessary units of life. If cells don't exist, we don't exist. In even the smallest part of your finger or your fingertip, there are around thousands of cells, alright, maybe lakhs. This is how many cells we are talking about. So if cells are not there, no living organism is living, alright, they cannot be formed. There is no formation. We start from a single cell, then the cell divides to form organisms and all. So the cell is a fundamental unit of life and is the building blocks of all organism. Okay, so cells combine to form organisms. All right, so that means if cells don't exist, living organisms don't exist. So this is the basic building block, like a brick. All right, bricks combine to form a building. That is how cells combine to form an organism. The term cell, C-E-L-L, was coined, means founded, by Robert Hooke. Alright, Robert Hooke was the person who coined the term cell. He observed cells. Alright, he thought, what are these small units inside a cork? Inside a cork. And these look like this honeycomb things. This hexagonal structure is called honeycomb. And he observed this and he thought, like, what are these? And he coined the term cell. He said it is a cell, C-E-L-L. This is the basic most unit of life. Cells can have different shape. These can have different shape, size and functions. Alright, so we can have different types of cells, alright, with various shapes, with various sizes, with various functions. Each cell might not be just for making an organism, it might be something for transport. Alright, it can let go of signals. Alright, so these can be classified into two main types. There are two main types of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. See the spellings, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, these are simpler and lack a true nucleus. So you see this purplish circular structure inside the cell. This is the nucleus. All cells have nucleus. Alright. So prokaryotic cells, they have a simpler and they lack a true nucleus. Alright. So they will be formed like this, but they may not have a true nucleus. Alright. They might not have this circular thing in between. This is called the cell membrane, which shows the boundary of the cell. Okay, they are typically found in bacteria and archaea. So bacteria and archaea are prokaryotic cells. Okay, these are membrane bound organelles. Eukaryotic cells. What are eukaryotic cells? These are more complex. Alright, these are not that simple. They have a lot of organelles. They have a lot of things going inside them. Alright, they have a true nucleus. They have this circular structure surrounded by a nuclear membrane, and this structure is surrounded by a nuclear membrane and various membrane bound organelles. Alright, since we have organs, consider a cell also has some organs. Alright, organelles, because it also needs some system to function. Alright, something to give it energy, something to take out the waste products like our body is. So to the smallest cell, it also has organelles. Alright, these are membrane bound. What does membrane bound mean? Membrane bound means it has an outer lining. Alright, like this is an outer lining. This is an outer lining. Okay, Eukaryotic cells are found in animals, plants, fungi and protists. Alright, so in animals, in plants and in fungus we find eukaryotic cells which have a true nucleus, a complex structure, membrane bound organelles. Alright, all the things inside it, like these things, all the systems that were, they are membrane bound, they have a lining, and we will get into the detail of this. So let's get into some various facts. Some cells, like white blood cells, in our blood we have white blood cells and red blood cells. Some cells are able to change their shape. Alright, they can change their shape. They might not be always circular, they might be long, they might be in some other shape. So white blood cells in our blood and amoeba. Amoeba is an organism that has only one cell. Alright, we in our fingertip only we have a lot of cells, but amoeba is a single celled organism. Alright, these two, white blood cells and amoeba, are able to change their shape. Alright, they can change their shape. They do not have a true shape, they will be like this. Alright, size of a cell is related to the function. So mostly in cellular organisms or in cell, the size will be related to the function. Alright, the largest known cell is ostrich egg, unfertilized ostrich egg. So this is an ostrich, you can see over here, it lays eggs. This egg is a single cell. Alright, it is a single cell and it is 6 inches in diameter. Alright, it is 6 inches wide from here to here. See this, from here to here it is 6 inches. It is a very big cell. It is the biggest cell known to us. A human nerve cell. Now this is a human nerve cell. Alright. It is the longest animal cell. So, and there are two types of cell: plant cells, animal cells, fungus, bacteria and all that. So the largest known animal cell is our nerve cells. Alright. They are located at the end of nerves. They help in transmitting signals from our brain to our body parts. Alright, so that is the longest animal cell is the human nerve cell. Largest human cell, so in our body what is the largest human cell? In the female human, in the female body, it is the ovum. Alright, so for humans, where is the largest cell? In the female's body, which is called the ovum, ovum. The smallest human cell is red blood cell. Alright, the red blood cell, we have RBCs and WBCs, white blood cells and red blood cells. So the smallest cell in our body is a red blood cell, which is red in color and it gives us the red color of the blood. So now we come to parts of cell. Alright, there are various parts to a cell. Okay, so firstly we come to cell wall. So if there is a cell, there will be a membrane, this lining, but outside this there will be another wall that is called the cell wall. Alright, see over here, in a plant cell, this outer lining is the cell wall. What does the cell wall do? It is a characteristic feature of only plant cells and fungi. You will find cell walls in only plant cells and fungi. It is an outer thick additional layer, means it is very thick outer layer surrounding the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane is this cell membrane. Okay, this is the actual cell, but there is a wall outside the cell, which is the cell wall. Okay, what does it do? It protects the cell, alright, from wind, from changing weather conditions, from hot and cold. Alright, so this outer lining cell wall will protect it. It gives shape and structure to cell. So this outer cell wall will be very rigid. Alright, it may or may not be rigid. It will give it structure, it will give it a shape. Okay, this is the property of the cell wall. See over here, this is the cell wall. Now we come to cell membrane. What was the cell membrane? Inside the cell wall comes the outer lining, that is the cell membrane. It is the outer boundary of the cell enclosing or containing the cytoplasm and nucleus. So if you see over here, or let's go back and see, this is this inside wall, this inside lining is the cell membrane. Alright, this is the cell membrane, also called plasma membrane. Okay, it is also called plasma membrane. Cell enclosing or containing the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So inside the cell membrane, alright, there is cytoplasm, which is fluid, and the nucleus, alright, and the nucleus. It is semi-permeable. What does semi-permeable means? Means it allows things to pass through it. Certain things, not everything. Alright. So supposedly there is some outside food, okay, that the cell wants to engulf or eat. So that will be able to pass through the cell membrane, but not anything else. So it allows certain substances to move through it. So, something favorable, it will move inside. Something not favorable, it will not be able to move inside. Alright. It helps separate cells from each other and things surrounding them. Okay, so maybe there are a lot of cells, and these cell membranes will help us distinguish between each cell, will give it shape. Alright. Now, animal cells do not have a cell wall, but they only have a cell membrane. Okay, so if this is a bunch of animal cells, this will only have cell membrane. Now we come to cytoplasm. What is the cytoplasm? It is a jelly-like substance, or jelly-like fluid-ish substance between cell membrane and nucleus. So supposedly this is a cell. Alright, there is the nucleus inside the cell. Now between this membrane and this nucleus, there will be a lot of cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like fluid. It will be like jelly. Okay. Between the nucleus and the cell membrane, containing various other cell organelles. See over here. Okay, this is the cell membrane. Alright, this is the nucleus. This blue part is the nucleus. This light orangish part that you see having a lot of things, it is the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. This orangish part, right? And it has what? It has all these structures, all of these structures inside it, cell organelles. We will study cell organelles in detail. Now we come to the nucleus. So we both know, like we all know, like this is the cell, this is the nucleus. Now we opened this nucleus, and how does that look? Okay. The nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown in 1831 inside the cell. It contains nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin material. So inside the nucleus, there are a lot of things as well now. This small structure is inside the nucleus of the cell, and it is called nucleolus. See over here, this is the nucleolus. It also has a nucleoplasm, alright. So if you can see this greenish fluid, okay, this part is called nucleoplasm. It has chromatin material. This is the chromatin material, this shining part on the surface of the nucleoplasm. It is called chromatin material. Chromatin is the controlling substance of the cell. So it is this chromatin is what controls the cell. Alright, and it helps form chromosomes. Chromatin helps in forming chromosomes. Now, what are chromosomes? Let's get into it. Chromosome is a thread-like structure found in the nucleus of the cell. Alright, so I showed you the nucleus. You can see that chromosomes are located inside the nucleus of the cell. These are bead-like looking, alright, bead-like looking structures on the surface of the chromosomes. Alright, on the surface of the chromosome. So this is a chromosome. Alright, these bead-like structures are called genes. See over here. Can you spot this? Something looking like this. These are genes. on the surface of the chromosome. This is a big chromosome. All right. So in a chromosome, in a cell, there are chromosomes, and on the surface of the chromosomes, we have genes. Okay, see over here, this is gene. On the surface of this, we have genes. This is made up of DNA. All right, DNA. What does DNA do? This DNA is the carrier of genetic information from one generation to another. We might look similar to our parents, to our mother, our fathers. A goat looks similar to its parent goat. Alright, everything looks similar to their parents. How does this happen? Due to this DNA. DNA is what will help our body get a direction of how it should develop. What all characteristics, facial, bodily wise, it should develop. Okay, these are what make inheritance of traits possible. Someone has a long nose, their parents also have a long nose. Someone is very tall, their parents are also very tall. All right, this happens due to DNA, which is in genes, and genes is in chromosomes. Chromosomes is in nucleus. All right, so nucleus, then we get chromosomes. From chromosomes we get genes. Genes contain DNA. This is what helps us become who we are from our parents. Now let's get into cell organelles. What are cell organelles? Apart from the nucleus, apart from the cell membrane, apart from the cell wall and all, we have a lot of other things inside the cell. You can see over here, we can see a lot of other things inside the cell. These are cell organelles. Like we have various organs in our cell, in our body. So like lungs, intestines, stomach, various other things. That is how cells also have a few other things. All right, but these are not cellular, because in a single cell there are just some functioning things called organelles that help the cell function. So first thing is vacuoles. See this blue structure over here, this sac like structure, a big sac. Sac means like a bori or something big. All right, looking like a balloonish structure. This is vacuole. Now vacuoles are sac like looking structures containing a solution. Alright, it contains a fluid of mineral salts and sugars called cell sap. So this vacuole is filled with cell sap. Alright, and what is the cell sap? It contains a solution of mineral salts and sugars. In plant cells, these vacuoles are large and distinct. So in a plant cell, you see this big vacuole, and it is permanent. It is always there, occupying most of the volume of the cell. Most of the volume of the cell will be from cell vacuoles. This vacuole, it combines, see, it already has a very big area inside the cell. On the contrary, an animal cell has small and temporary vacuoles, or it may be absent altogether. So if this is an animal cell without a cell wall, it might have a vacuole. Apart from the nucleus, it might have a vacuole, or it might not have a vacuole. Okay, that is an animal cell. Now we come to more complex cell organelles. Cell organelles are specialized structures within the cell that perform specific functions. So every cell organelle has a specific function. So for example, our lungs have a specific function, our stomach has a specific function, our intestines have a specific function. All right, so also in the cell there are certain things that have a specific function. So first one is plastids. Plastids are found only in plant cell, and are responsible for various functions like photosynthesis, storage, and pigment synthesis. So for example, if I have a plastid, these plastid will help the plant cell. All right, they are only in plant cells. They will assist in photosynthesis. What was photosynthesis? Taking light to make glucose. All right, taking in of carbon dioxide by the plants. These plastids will help in storage of food. And pigment synthesis. What is pigment synthesis? Color. Now, there are various plastids for each of these. Alright, so for photosynthesis, there's a different plastid. For storage, there's a different plastid. And for pigment synthesis, there's a different plastid. Now we come to chloroplast. What is a chloroplast? These are green plastids containing chlorophyll. Alright, these are green plastids. So if they ask which one is a green plastid, that is chloro. Why? Chlorophyll, chloroplast. Okay, from chloro, which means they have a greenish pigment called chlorophyll, which helps which plays a crucial role in photosynthesis. Without chlorophyll, there is no photosynthesis possible. Chloroplast converts sunlight into chemical energy. They convert sunlight into chemical energy, glucose and oxygen. So if this is a chloroplast, alright, having greenish color, okay, it will take in sunlight and it will make food, glucose, for the plant. Okay. Now we come to leucoplasts. Leucoplast. What are leucoplasts? Leucoplasts are plastids that are colorless. Alright, they are colorless and they store food. So what is the storage of the plant cell? What will store this food for the which plastid? Alright, that is leucoplasts. See over here. What does chloroplast do? It looks like this. It contains chlorophyll. It is greenish in color. It absorbs sunlight in photosynthesis. It produces and stores glucose. Leucoplasts. Leucoplasts contain no pigment. Alright, they have no color and they store food. Now we come to the middle one, that is chromoplast. Chromoplasts are colored plastid. Okay, they are colored, but they're not colored green. They might be red, yellow, blue, whatever. They give the fruit, alright, they give fruit and flower their color. So we see the various fruits of various colors. Red, apple is red, yellow is banana. We see the flowers having different colors, red, yellow, white, blue, whatever. That is due to chromoplast. Chromo means light. Alright. Chromoplast. What kind of color does it have? Color. Now let's come to mitochondria. What is mitochondria? Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. See over here. This reddish structure is the mitochondria, and they show it. Mitochondria. Mitochondria produces energy for the cell. Alright, how? In the form of ATP. Energy inside the cell is produced in the form of ATP through cellular respiration. We produce energy through respiration. We take in food, we burn it, we get energy. Similarly, what produces energy in the cell? That is mitochondria in the form of ATP. Alright, ATP. Alright, it is a triphosphate. This is what converts whatever food it takes into energy for cellular respiration. They have their own DNA. Alright, so what kind of DNA does a mitochondria have? They have their own DNA from cell to cell. Alright, so what kind of mitochondria it will develop? It will have its own DNA and can reproduce independently within the cell. Alright, so mitochondria has this property, it will independently reproduce. Okay, there can be more, there can be less. So that is also a characteristic property of mitochondria. It is the powerhouse of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum, ER. Endoplasmic reticulum, the ER is a network of membranes. What is a network of membranes? Network of linings. Okay, they transport things. It is lining. What is a road? It is a lining. Alright. It plays a crucial role in protein synthesis. This ER will play a crucial role and a very important role in protein synthesis. What is protein synthesis? Consuming something, synthesizing it into simpler forms so that my body can consume it. That is protein synthesis. See over this reddish maroonish structure, that is the endoplasmic reticulum. It is a lining. Okay, so there are various types of endoplasmic reticulum. All right, first one is rough ER, rough endoplasmic reticulum, studded with ribosomes on its surface. So the rough ER will have ribosomes on its surface. So over this, like this lining, there will be a lot of ribosomes involved in protein synthesis. So this ribosomes will help in protein synthesis and modification. That is found in rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now we come to smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It lacks ribosomes. So the basic difference between rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the presence of ribosomes. Ribosomes. Alright. Rough one, R, has ribosomes. R for R. Ribosomes. Rough. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, no ribosomes. Hence an S. Alright. So in smooth endoplasmic reticulum involved in lipid metabolism and detoxification of certain substances. So it will help burn lipid in a lipid metabolism. Alright. Remember these terms, lipid metabolism and detoxification. What is detoxification? Removing toxins, removing unnecessary things, removing waste from your body. In our body, it is the intestine. For a cell, it is the endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Alright. Now, Golgi apparatus. Alright, so the Golgi apparatus. What is Golgi apparatus? The Golgi complex, okay, Golgi complex is responsible for modifying, sorting and packaging proteins and lipids. So like blood, lipid is also there, okay. Proteins and lipids. Lipids are basically fats. What are lipid? Lipids are basically fats. So a cell needs both fats and proteins. We need to synthesize both. Now what does the Golgi apparatus do? If you can see over here, there are Golgi apparatus all over the cell. Okay, what does Golgi apparatus do? This Golgi apparatus will help in all the protein that is synthesized. Alright, it will package it and send it to different parts. So from the ER for transport to other parts of the cell for secretion outside of the cell. So everything that is synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum will be transported via the Golgi apparatus. Alright, it will be modifying, it will be sorting out, it will be packaging proteins. Like this is supposed to be thrown out of the cell, this is supposed to be taken in by this organelle. All this will be done by the Golgi apparatus. Alright. Lysosomes. What are lysosomes? Lysosomes are membrane-bound organelles that contain digestive enzymes. So in our stomach, we have digestive enzymes. In our intestine, we have digestive enzymes. Where are the digestive enzymes of the cell? It is in the lysosomes. These are membrane-bound. Membrane-bound means lining, outer lining. Alright. Organelles that contain digestive enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes are chemicals, biological chemicals that are released by a body for a certain definite function. Alright. So enzymes which are helpful for digestion will be digestive enzymes. They break down waste materials, cellular debris and foreign substances in the cell. Alright. They break down the waste materials. There is a waste material. Okay, lysosomes will give out enzymes that will break it down, break that waste into simpler products so that I can dispose of it, that the cell can dispose of it. Cellular debris. Now there are some damaged parts of the cell, maybe due to weather conditions, maybe something actually has happened and it has healed, but now it wants to get rid of that debris. All right, debris means waste part. All right, and foreign substances, supposedly there is some dust particles inside, or maybe something, a foreign body has entered the cell. What will happen? Lysosomes will give out enzymes that will help digest that part, that will eliminate that part, playing a vital role in cellular waste management. Without lysosomes, cells cannot dispose of their waste material. All right, all their waste material will be broken down or into smaller parts through lysosomes. Now we get ribosomes. All right, what are ribosomes? Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. Where did we study ribosomes? On endoplasmic reticulum. All right, they are present on the endoplasmic reticulum, they are present on the nucleus. Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. What does it mean by protein synthesis? Anything that the cell will eat or it will engulf, it terms as food, all right, for the cell. How will it be broken down? All right, these ribosomes will help in synthesizing that protein. They can be found free in the cytoplasm or bound to the endoplasmic reticulum. So on this endoplasmic reticulum, or you can see these ribosomes, these blue structures. See, these are also ribosomes inside the cytoplasm. They are just floating inside there. Now we see the nucleus. What is the nucleus? Nucleus is the control center of the cell. All right, control center, like a brain, it has nucleus. It contains cell's genetic material. I told you, DNA, genes in the form of chromosomes. We have chromosomes. The nucleus regulates cell activities and is responsible for cell division. So this nucleus will be the one that will be directing, you grow like this, you grow like that, this part has to be this much big, this part has to go over here. All that direction part is done by the nucleus. It regulates all the cell activities. It is responsible for managing all what is happening inside the cell. Like our brain is responsible for managing us. All right, similarly, nucleus is for the cell and it is responsible for cell division. So now if there is one cell and it wants to reproduce, all right, all that information about reproducing and direction will be in the nucleus and it will reproduce into two cells. This is called binary fission. All right, maybe into three cells, maybe into one other cell it will reproduce. This all is directed by the nucleus. Now we come to comparison between plant and animal cells. What is a comparison between plant and animal cells? First of all is the cell wall. Plant cells have cell wall, animal cell do not have cell walls. Plant cells, the cell wall is made of cellulose outside the cell membrane, providing structural support. Now cellulose is kind of hard, so it gives a good structure to the plant cell. Plastids and chloroplasts. Plant cell contain plastids, chloroplasts, allowing them to perform photosynthesis. Animal cells, we can't produce photosynthesis. I cannot have chlorophyll and make food out of it. I do not have plastids. Animals do not have plastid. Humans do not have plastids. So animals lack plastids and chloroplast. Vacuole. Now plant cells have large central vacuole responsible for storing water, nutrients, cell sap and all waste products as well. So plant cells have vacuoles. Animal cells may have small vacuoles, alright, but they are not as prominent as in plant cells. So in plant cells there will be a big vacuole, but in animal cells there will not be a big vacuole. They might be absent as well. They will be very small. Alright. Now we come to the shape. Plant cells are usually rectangular or square shaped, while animal cells are more irregularly shaped. Alright, let's come to a diagram. You see this animal cell and you see this plant cell. Plant cell has this outer wall. It has a rectangular square shape. Animal cells do not have a proper shape. They are like this. Alright. So, and see over here, this is the nucleus. Both have a nucleus, both have cytoplasm, both have a cell membrane, but this green stuff is only in plant cell and not in the animal cell. So let's see. The cell wall is in plant cell but not in animal cell. A permanent vacuole, this big vacuole, is not in animal cell. Chloroplast, this green chloroplast that give it a green color, is absent in animal cell. Let's come to the centrioles. Alright, centrioles. Animal cells have centrioles which aid in cell division. Okay, so centrioles are something which help in cell division from one cell to another. Alright, you need not remember that, but these are some important parts. But for cellular division, always remember the nucleus, the chromosomes, the DNA, the genes. This is what helps in cellular division. But animal cells have something else also. They have centrioles. However, plant cells do not have centrioles. Okay. Cilia and flagella. Some animal cells have cilia, short hair-like structures, or flagella, a long whip-like structure for movement. Plant cells do not possess these structures. So let me tell you. Cilia is something, a sort of a handish thing. Okay, these are let me tell you. Okay, so cilia, supposedly this is a cell. Cilia is hair like structure. All right, these are cilia over a cell. All right, over a cell. Also, there is something called a flagella. There is a whip-like structure, a rope-like structure in some cells which help it in moving. Alright, so it will attach itself to somewhere and pull the cell towards it. So that is how this is a flagella. This is how the cell will move. Some cells have it, some cells do not. Some animal cells, only the animal cells. Some animal cells have cilia, hair-like structures, or flagella. Plant cells have neither. No cilia, no flagella. Alright. Let's get to similarities and differences. Okay. So plant and animal cell share several similarities as well. Differences are fine, but similarities. They both have a nucleus. Both have cell membrane. Alright. They both have some cell membrane. They both have cytoplasm. They both have various organelles. And what are those organelles that are same? Mitochondria. Both have mitochondria. Both have ribosomes. Both have a cell wall, plasma membrane. Okay. Both have a Golgi apparatus. Both have an endoplasmic reticulum. These are similar. What is not? Plant cells have cell wall. Animal cells do not. Plant cells have big vacuoles, small vacuoles, or no vacuoles in animal cell. Chloroplast, which give it a green color. There are no chloroplast. Nucleus is usually pushed to the side. In plant cells, you will not find a nucleus at the center. You will find it is pushed to the side or over here, anywhere. Okay. Nucleus is usually in the center in the animal cell. Animal cell also has one property of cilia or flagella. Alright, cilia, flagella. These things occur only in the animal cell. Alright, so I hope you liked this lecture. It is an important lecture. Study it hard and nicely.